With 27 sets in the last 3 years, LEGO's packed lots of secrets into LEGO Sonic. From hidden rings and chaos emeralds in multiple different sets, to references to the comics, and even Easter eggs in the progress bar of the instructions. There's a lot going on. So I'm gonna show you 29 small details that you probably missed, starting with one of the best details in the theme that almost nobody notices. The Green Hill Zone set from 2021 is the Big Ideas set, and it's absolutely loaded with references. But the one I want to start with is in the instruction manual itself. While you're building, Sonic runs along a progress bar at the bottom of every single page of the instructions. And when you get to a page with a brick-built Badnik enemy, he gets hit and loses his rings, just like in the game. Then he recovers and keeps running through the rest of the instructions. Most people flip through them so fast that they don't even notice this. But this set is also built around a mechanic from the game. The set is split into 7 steps, and each one has a Chaos Emerald hidden somewhere in the build. So as you make the set, you're collecting all 7 emeralds one by one. And when you finish, there's a dedicated gem stand where you display all 7 together, which is exactly what happens when you beat the game. And there's actually another Easter egg in the instructions for this exact concept. Page 181 shows the set in its final form, and this time, the progress bar has Sonic celebrating with every Chaos Emerald in a circle above his head. When you collect them all in-game, they're usually in some sort of circle, so this is also taken straight from the game. But the set also has a high score table in the back that most people completely ignore, and it's absolutely packed with secrets. The top score by VIV is 281,020, which is the birth date of a family member of Viv Granel, the fan designer who submitted the set to LEGO Ideas. Then LCK scores 76,642, which spells out Sonic on an old phone keypad. And Sam scores 1,991, which is the year Sonic first launched. But this set has item boxes where you can swap out the monitor screens. The panels pop off, and the set comes with 5 different options: Ring, Extra Life, Invincibility, Shield, and Speed Shoes, all of which are different power-ups from the original game. And if you look at the lower left corner of the screen, there's a life counter printed on it. So not only can you change which power-up is displayed, but the whole thing looks exactly like it would in-game. But one of the coolest things about this set, and Sonic as a whole, is the way LEGO used a certain part. The golden rings, which are some of the most iconic things in all of Sonic, are recreated using yellow minifigure life preservers. That's the round floaty piece that minifigures hold in sets based on the beach. It's such a simple reuse of an old piece that somehow works perfectly. But the last detail in this set I want to talk about is a deep cut that casual fans would never catch. Tucked into the figure lineup is the Phantom Ruby, the reality-bending gem from Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. These are games from 2017, and including a reference to them in a set based on the Green Hill Zone, which is from 1991, is genuinely wild. Most people who bought this set probably had no idea what it was, but for some reason, it's impossible to subscribe to my channel in 3 seconds or less. I'm gonna run a timer, so let me know if you beat it. Anyways, now I'm gonna talk about some details that run across the whole theme. When you rescue animals from Badniks in the sets, they're the actual classic critters from Sonic 1. Flicky, Pocky, Pecky, Becky, Cucky, all of them. But here's the thing nobody talks about. The molds those animals are built from originally came from the LEGO Friends theme. The little bird and animal pieces that appear throughout LEGO Sonic are repurposed too, just like the rings. But LEGO also made a mistake with one of these animals that's still on their website. The chicken's actual name is Cucky. That's the canonical name. But LEGO.com's official product description calls it Clucky, which is just wrong. Brickset reviewers called this out directly, and for some reason, it still isn't fixed. But this isn't even the only obvious mistake they made, and fans caught this next one almost immediately. Near the end of the announcement trailer for the theme, Sonic's torso is completely wrong. It uses the classic torso from the LEGO Ideas set, which has a circular belly, instead of the modern upside-down egg shape he's supposed to have. It's a super easy moment to miss, and most people did, but hardcore Sonic fans spotted it and talked about it for weeks. But that same trailer also has an Easter egg hidden in the background. In the LEGO Sonic Show promo, there's a fake live stream chat on screen. And if you read the chat, the viewers are Kirk Thornton, who is Shadow's actual voice actor, Karen Strassman, who voices Rouge, and Takashi Ayuzuka, who's the head of the Sonic team at Sega. You have to have insane Sonic knowledge to clock these names. But let's get back to actual sets. The Speed Sphere Challenge set from 2023 has a little beach scene built into it, which seems completely random, but fans pointed out that this specific arrangement is inspired by the cover of Sonic the Hedgehog issue 41. It's specifically made after cover B, but this same set also has the iconic loop-de-loop from the Green Hill Zone, and it isn't a custom-made piece for this set. It's built using pieces from the Stunt sub-theme in LEGO City. The more you look into it, the more you realize that LEGO Frankensteined a lot of iconic pieces for this theme. But the Loop Challenge set also has Eggman's mech, which actually recreates how the boss fight works in-game. The machine splits in two, and a transparent pillar raises the upper half to mimic how Eggman hovers during battle. There's also a trap where hitting a pink disc tips the bridge and takes out the Chopper Badnik. I didn't think they could, but LEGO built actual game mechanics into some of these sets. But moving on to the Tails Workshop set, there's a small yellow device inside the workshop that looks like the Miles Electric gadget from the second live-action Sonic movie. And this is the device that Tails uses in the entire thing. It's really easy to miss because the workshop has a lot of stuff going on, but it's a direct nod to the movie. And Amy's Animal Rescue Island set has a sneaky hidden detail too. Crab Meat, the classic Badnik, is sitting on some rocks at the back of the island. And if you hit the round pink tile on the set, Crab Meat topples over and gets defeated. But what most people miss is that defeating him also reveals a hidden Chaos Emerald underneath him. So the set has a functional mechanic that rewards you with a secret emerald, just like in the games. But Tails' Adventure Boat is a very interesting set for a very weird reason. LEGO seemed to just invent a boat called the Sea Fox 2. Brickset pointed out that there's no canonical boat like this in Sonic lore besides Tails' original Sea Fox submarine from Tails' Adventure on Game Gear. LEGO just kind of created a boat that doesn't exist in the games and gave it a name. But that same Tails boat set has a mistake just like the Clucky one from before. The pink fish Badnik in the set is Jaws, which is a classic enemy from Sonic 1, but the box labels it as Jaws with a Z. The problem is that Jaws with a Z is actually a completely different Sonic enemy, a long blue shark. So LEGO mixed up two Sonic robots with similar names and printed the wrong one on the official packaging. But that boat also has one of the best deep cut references in the entire theme. There's a printed tile on it that Brickset called a direct throwback to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's the puzzle game from 1993 that most casual Sonic fans have probably never even touched. It's way more specific than anything from popular Sonic games, so Brickset clearly has a very good eye. This set also has a funny side to it, because Sonic is jet skiing behind the boat. This sounds fun until you remember that Sonic can't swim. It's one of his most famous weaknesses in the game. Falling in water is basically instant death for him. Brickset specifically called out this joke in their review and noted that LEGO at least had the decency to give him a life jacket, which was very thoughtful of them. Now, Shadow's escape set gave Shadow a minifigure for the first time, and LEGO put a lot of work into it. He has a front and back printed torso, dual molded and printed legs, and printed arms with golden highlights to capture his look accurately. For a long time, this was the only way to get a Shadow minifigure anywhere in LEGO Sonic, and considering how many people wanted Shadow specifically, the detail level on the figure was received really well. But LEGO Shadow has a detail that only makes sense if you know his backstory. In the Supersonic vs. Egg Drillster set, Shadow has a desk with a computer, and the screen shows Maria Robotnik. Maria is the girl who Shadow was created with on the Space Colony arc, and her death is the reason behind his moral code and character as a whole. She's essential to everything about who Shadow is, so LEGO included her to show that they really know the story. But the Shadow the Hedgehog display set has two hidden details that you'd only find if you look inside. There are 3 yellow rings hidden inside the stand at the base, and inside Shadow's actual head, where his brain would be, there's a Chaos Emerald. It's here because that's literally how Shadow's powers work in the games. His Chaos abilities come from the emeralds, so LEGO built his power source into his head to reference it. Moving on though, the Supersonic figure first showed up in the Supersonic vs. Egg Drillster set. This set was $80 retail when it came out, which is pretty expensive, especially since it was the only way to get this really cool minifigure. But then, LEGO put it in the Bio Lizard set at basically half the price. So if you wanted Supersonic but didn't want to pay full price for the Egg Drillster set, you had to wait 6 months and just hope LEGO made a cheaper set with him. But the Bio Lizard set itself has a detail that recreates something really specific from Sonic Adventure 2. A pair of lime green rods run from the Bio Lizard's head to the thing on its back, and it's not just decoration. The Bio Lizard in-game is on a life support system, and it's part of why the boss fight is designed the way it is. So LEGO built the life support into the physical model. But someone I haven't mentioned yet is Knuckles. And the Knuckles Guardian Mech set is important for 2 characters at once. It's the first time Knuckles appeared in physical minifigure form anywhere in LEGO Sonic. But it's also the debut of Rouge the Bat in minifigure form too. And LEGO gave Rouge her own brick-built glider specifically from the scene where she's trying to steal the Master Emerald from Knuckles, which is the actual plot of their rivalry in Sonic Adventure 2. But there's also a reward hidden for people who buy 2 Knuckles sets in particular. The Master Emerald holder from the Guardian Mech set fits perfectly into an empty space in the Knuckles and Master Emerald Shrine set. LEGO designed the 2 sets to physically connect, so if you have both, you can make this happen. It's not advertised anywhere on the packaging, so you'd only discover it by owning both and noticing the gap. But there's a way deeper cut hiding in the Knuckles and Master Emerald set. Both Amy and Knuckles have weapons, but along with her Pico hammer, Amy also has a catapult, and you'll see that LEGO has us putting grapes in it. She's supposed to use these on the Badnik in the set, and to make sure she doesn't run out of ammo, there's a grape vineyard built on the left side. But this is also a reference to Knuckles as a character, because he really likes grapes. Between this, the picture of Shadow and Maria, and Sonic wearing a life jacket, LEGO did a really good job with character-specific details in this theme. But not everything in LEGO Sonic is good. The 2025 version of the Speed Sphere launcher quietly lost a detail that old versions have. The original launcher had a printed spring pad design that matched the classic Sonic aesthetic. The 2025 version is just a plain piece with no printing. It's a downgrade that most people would never notice, but collectors who compared the 2 versions side by side caught it immediately. But which detail in this video surprised you the most? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.